back to the channel. I'm Sam Sanders along with Tiara from T's Tidbits. Tell them where they can find your platform.
You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Zeus Network, BET Plus, Fox Soul. Um,
Wherever you can
yeah,
stream.
wherever you can stream. All of
Great,
that.
great. So how was your week? Since we last time we saw each other was Saturday. So how was your week? How's your week been?
It's been long. I've been very productive, just getting this house staged, and I've been very handy. I have blisters on my hands,
Oh,
like from working. Yeah,
so you
so
so no gloves and you've been a
no,
working woman.
I've been a working woman. I've been a handy woman.
You better than me. I kind of laid around all week. The most I did was put some shoe trees and some shoes and kind of reorganize my shoe part of my closet. How about that?
Uh, yeah, I've been doing some hands-on labor. I need to open me up a little handy woman service.
Handy
'Cause,
one.
yeah, I've been installing stuff. It's been a long week.
So how was it yesterday trying to install the security system?
You know what? Honestly, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was mainly like popping the camera. Like once I like put the brackets on the house, popping the camera inside of the brackets. So that's what was taking forever.
Yeah.
But
But you got it done?
yep, got it done, and I did the smart thermostat this morning. And,
Okay. What kind did you get?
the Nest, the
You got a
Google
Nest?
Nest, yeah.
Okay, good.
So
Cool, cool. I know it's like my house is almost probably like halfway smart
hmm
and halfway regular because you never know when the power's gonna go out. So it's like then I don't want to feel like doing all the extra going up to do things manually. So I said I
yeah.
leave part of my house, like my whole bedroom, all my
hmm
lights in my bedroom are smart lights,
Okay.
smart bulbs. So it's like, and
Yeah.
then I have three Echo devices, and then you have a
Nice.
Fire Stick that you use, and that I seldom use because I forget that I have it most of the time. It
Yeah.
was a gift, so
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Later on, I have to like play with this lock. I got like a Wi-Fi, like range extender. So I'm
okay,
trying to connect all the devices. I didn't have time to do it earlier because I had something to do at 12. But
right.
yeah, slowly, I'm trying to get as much done as possible today. So slowly but surely.
It's a lot when you're moving. It is. It
Yeah.
is a
On top of moving, yeah, it's a
yeah.
lot.
That is a whole lot. But anyway, so we just kind of popped up on a news brief here on a local news channel. They arrested six juveniles. Well, two of them classified as juveniles, but the other one was 17 and 18, so they're still juveniles for me for murder of two gentlemen, two young kids, 17 and 18, a week or so ago. Man, it is so dangerous. It seems like every time we look up, somebody's shooting somebody or somebody's getting killed. And most of the time, these are juveniles. What do you think about that?
I believe everything starts within the home. So if your children are acting out, especially to the point where they go out and murder somebody, like we need to take a look at the parents and how did they get access, to these weapons. And that goes on to, a lot of people want to take away the Second Amendment.
And,
So yeah, it definitely starts at home and then goes from there.
yeah, I look at it too. Sometimes it's home, but sometimes
hmm
parents just can't control, or they don't control these kids. And a lot of these guns that are floating around, they're stolen, you
hmm
know? And you got people like us regular citizens, we're going out, buying our guns, going to the range to learn how to shoot.
hmm
Um, and then some people are just careless and they leave their guns in the car. That's what I don't understand that part.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. You can't be careless like with a loaded firearm. Like cars get broken into, all the time. And if you have that gun right there and it's registered to you and it's gone, like out, and somebody commits a crime with it, and then you haven't reported it
Right.
stolen or whatever, like that's negligent for you. So
Held
you have to
accountable.
be responsible.
Yeah, because you're gonna be held accountable if you don't.
hmm
Texas. Texas is the wild wild west. But can you believe Texas is maybe a couple of years ago got constitutional carry?
Yeah, and it's weird because we have that stereotype like everybody in Texas
This
has
has
a
a
gun and they're just toting gun toting people or whatever,
Right.
So
I
that is crazy.
I remember when I was stationed at Fort Stewart, some of my friends from Florida, they always thought everybody had a horse
Mm-hmm.
and everybody carried guns. I said, well, you see a lot of people with shotguns. I had to tell them, hey, yeah, people did carry shotguns in their car,
Mm-hmm.
because back in the days, they have the rack in their on the back of their truck and well on inside the window on their truck, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, they could carry shotguns still because long guns are legal to carry, but they're not able to, but they're not easy to conceal.
True.
Yeah, and it's like Texas had, when the governor that we have sitting there, that's the only thing I've probably been favorable about anything he's done was when he's allowed, CHL to become a law in Texas, and that's the concealed handgun law. And then a few years ago it became uh, LTC, license to carry, and then we got constitutional carry where you didn't have to you can open carry, you can conceal carry without a license.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big proponent of I'm a proponent of having a license.
Mm-hmm.
And you in the age 21, being 21 and being able to have a gun. I'm for background checks. I'm pro Second Amendment, but I just think you must do background checks. You must see. We must kind of have the government needs to know who's carrying guns and if they're stable.
Okay. I get that, but on paper, somebody might be stable, but like in real life, they might not be stable at all to
Yeah.
carry a gun. And you think people should be 21 to obtain?
Yeah, I do. I think it has to be something. I think we have to have some legalities to, it's just like driving a car. You have to be a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Even about cigarettes, you have to have a certain age. To go fishing, you have to have a fishing
Yeah.
license. So I understand because I look at it too as dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
When we look back at the shootings, just think the shootings we've had in Texas. We had one at a church. We've had at schools. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just look, what, a week ago we had the lady at the airport in Love
Craziness.
Field.
Yeah, DFW, and it was crazy because I was just at the airport, that airport, when we came back from our vacation like 2 weeks ago.
Can you imagine you're in the airport, you either arriving or departing, and
Mm-hmm.
you have somebody and finds out this lady has mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
I just think sometimes, it's going to be hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's guaranteed, just like having a COVID shot, it's not guaranteed that you won't get it, but I just think you have to have some type of precautions in
Mm-hmm.
just to protect the safety.
Yeah, like just like you get a driver's license, but that doesn't mean you could drive.
Right,
Yeah.
because we've all been there. Because we all, we're not born able to drive. Now, some people they get it right away, but some people
Mm-hmm.
they don't get it right away, and some never get it because you can go out in a parking lot and look at all the scratches on people's cars.
Yeah, dent it up and all that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I do. I think it's hard to, like you said, it's gonna be hard to do like a real genuine background check because if they look good on paper,
Right.
you know, you don't know what they're going through mentally. It's a lot of people that suffer with mental health issues, but they
Yeah.
don't get seen. They think it's
Right.
normal or whatever. But when I was doing my research, only it's like less than 1% of people that's licensed to carry
Right.
that actually have committed, homicide and crimes like that.
Right.
So it's the people that obtain guns, illegally that is the problem. So that's what kills me when people are like, yeah, we have to take people's guns away. We have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the 99% of people that, don't have license? What
Right.
about those people?
Like I said, I'm pro Second Amendment, so I don't agree with anybody ever talking about taking guns away. I
Mm-hmm.
just that's just the Constitution, and that's one thing that I'm pretty firm on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even see that ever happening. People can shout that out, and a lot of times people use that as something in politics as something to make somebody think that yeah, that's what's gonna happen and etc. But I'm just like, no, it's not. You know, I don't think it's gonna happen at all. So and I wish we all could get it together and make people understand they're not gonna take our weapons away. That's
Mm-mm.
just one political party using that to sway its members, its constituents.
Yeah, and it's a money thing as well because I don't really watch news like that because it's a bunch of propaganda to
Right,
begin with, and they were talking about how much money like these gun companies have made from like 2020 till now, and like
right.
all of them have like increased their sales. So it's the government; they want their money too. So it's gonna be a political thing. So everybody could
Yeah.
get a piece of money. But I am pro gun as well. I am for background checks, and then I believe if a lot of people have guns, I believe that it will lower crime down because if somebody's gonna run up on you and they know you have a weapon, they'll probably not do it. But if they see you're not strapped,
Hmm.
you're a soft target.
Soft target. That is the term. You
So
know, and I agree with you on that because, like I said, nothing's guaranteed because even if you have a weapon, somebody
mhm,
may get the jump on you.
that too.
That's why, like I said, I'm really a proponent on, concealed weapons because who knows who has what.
Hmm.
Because you never know because you could be out getting gas one night, you could be going to the ATM and you can find yourself surrounded.
Hmm.
Sometimes we're just out and about, just trying to pursue happiness, just living life without bothering anybody. But there's always somebody that wants to interrupt what you have going on. And that's why we have to protect ourselves.
Right.
That's why I think it's important, and I try to persuade all my friends, there's some friends I've had since like the second grade. And for 20 years, I was begging this person, hey, get a weapon. Let's go training. I help
Hmm.
you go pick out a weapon. And it took until 2020, 2022, or was it 2021? 2021
Hmm.
for that person to finally, and they've been around me with weapons the entire time.
Hmm.
But now I said, man, I said we're not coming back to my house until you actually have chosen a weapon. And I took him to I took him to several uh, box stores, big brand name stores, and
Hmm.
I said, you hold every gun in your hand to see what feels comfortable for you. I
Right.
said, we're not even gonna worry about you choosing a particular model or brand. We want to see what feels comfortable for you for the price that you want to pay.
Hmm.
And that's exactly how we do. And that's what I encourage everybody to say. If you need me to go to the store with you, I will go with you. I've only had two people take me up on that advice.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I am too because I've been shooting for maybe like the last 8 9 years or whatever. And then I tell people that too, like especially like my female friends, they want to pick like a cute
Cute
whatever
guy.
gun, and I'm just like, no, you
no,
have to whatever feels comfortable. And then if you get one that feels comfortable, take it to the range, but you get used to it.
get used to it.
Practice taking it out of holster if you need to, like, and then like unload it and just practice, taking it out of a holster so you're comfortable just in case you're in a situation like it's all about training
Yeah.
and being comfortable because like what's the point of having a gun if you really need it in a situation and you're fumbling with your holster
Yeah.
or you didn't pull the slide back or whatever the case is. So you have to get comfortable with your weapon and train because it's like the inside joke when people shoot
Right.
sideways and stuff like that. Like that's no, that's why people that the shots not intended to hit get hit or like doing drive bys. Like you got everybody but the person you're
Everybody
trying to get
except the
out.
person, and they
Yeah,
get lucky when they actually hit the target they're trying to get.
yeah.
It's like working in the business that I was in. We had a kid. He was in court. The lawyer pulled out a 8x10 picture and said, "Mr. So and So, do you know who this is?" The kid looked at him. I have no idea. This is the person that you shot and killed. And the kid was just like, he had no clue because that person that was shot was not the person that he was trying to shoot.
Hmm.
And when you look at the, a lot of times, unless it's something that's point blank, they don't actually kill the person that they're trying to shoot. They're just firing off a bunch of shots,
Yep.
and that's crazy. That is really crazy.
Yes, always an innocent bystander that ends up getting killed versus the person that they were intending on shooting. That's why, like, yeah, certain situations, like people like that, like, they don't need weapons if your sole purpose of having a weapon is
To hurt somebody.
criminal stuff or to hurt
Yeah,
somebody. It should be for protection and protection only.
protection.
That's what I think the people that want to take guns away need to realize, like, this is for protection. Like, we could use the school shooting and imagine if, like, just one of the office workers or the teachers or somebody had a weapon inside the school.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be different?
You know,
It's hard to say, but
it's hard to say because I have friends that are teachers, and
mhm.
most of them are females. I have a couple of male friends that are classroom. Okay, I just think a teacher have so much on their plate to begin with
Mhm.
that they don't need to be law enforcement.
True.
You know, yeah, it's cool if you find a teacher that has the training, but who says that's going to happen to that teacher's classroom?
True.
You know,
What about armed guards, like, at the schools? Because, like, schools, churches, grocery stores,
yeah.
those are, like, soft targets, and
Soft.
that's how, like, the last few mass shootings here in America, have ended up grocery stores,
And
schools, churches.
I'm for in places where there are a lot of people. I'm for that. I'm for. There's
Mm-hmm.
really not a place that I'm against it. There's really not a place because you never know, man. I'm talking about there are times I'm sitting out on my patio at my own home,
Mm-hmm.
fenced in, and I have my fire with me, and it's like one of my friends was like, I said, yeah, because you never know.
Yeah.
How do you not know? This might be the time somebody like figures, okay, I can hear them out in their backyard, relaxing. I can rob them. There's an eager target. But if you come over my fence, then it'd be a different story. And you don't want to ever. It's just like law enforcement. Some of those guys, they've never ever had to draw their weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and they go their whole career. But there is that time that you do have to.
Yep.
And that's the way I want it to be. I don't want to ever, unless I'm going to the range, whether I'm indoor shooting or I'm outside. That's the only time I ever want to have to draw my weapon because, you think about it. Once you pull that trigger, there's no coming back.
True.
And it has no name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like, man, it has no name.
Yeah, I can't. I rather have it and not need it,
Right.
rather than need it and not have it. And
Right.
then, like it goes back to being comfortable with the weapon. Like, if
Mm.
you do, or if you are in a situation where you have to pull it out, like, you can't be shaking and miss your target. Now somebody else is
But
shot or killed or whatever. Like, you really have to be comfortable. I feel like if you're not comfortable enough,
right,
to handle yourself in that situation, or if you're like, if you're, what is it, flight or fight,
right.
and you're flighting, you're gonna be like, don't get it, like, just, it's certain. I feel like it's unsaid rules to obtaining weapons,
Right.
but it's just one of those topics. Like, a lot of people are either white or black, but it's gray areas, I
Right.
believe.
And go back to what you're saying. You're shaking because your adrenaline is flowing. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
always, and I always try to stress to the person, don't get a gun that has a safety. You want a gun. You actually want to have one in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to have one in the chamber because you don't have time to be like, hey, wait a minute, man. Let me
Mm-hmm.
chamber my weapon before. You don't have that time. That's just like being, you don't know when you're gonna have a car accident. You're gonna have to, well, hey, wait a minute, 18-wheeler.
Yep.
Let me check. Let me go ahead and buckle up for safety
Mm-hmm.
before we crash into each other. Let me turn my airbags on. It's too late then.
Yep.
you know.
Absolutely.
That's why it's just like it's important to. It's always if you stay ready, you don't have to.
Get ready.
You don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
And it just amazes me the people that are against weapons. Yeah, but you unless you're gonna take every weapon away, which you can't do. It would be great if that could happen, but then you go look at those countries that you can't have a gun in, like London,
You're just
England.
gonna get
They
stabbed.
get stabbed.
I personally would rather get shot than stabbed or whatever. But yeah, like countries over there, like in Europe, like it's a whole bunch of stabbing, and then like even like the laws really don't matter. Like look at places like New York and
Oh yeah,
Chicago, the strictest gun laws, but like the most
yeah, the most.
firearms. So imagine taking away the good citizens' guns, and there's still gun problems. Now you're caught,
Yeah.
with your
The,
tail between your legs, and
right, and you just saw with this leader, was it in Japan or
oh
whatever?
yeah, got shot, and that's so rare for Japan.
And it was a
Cause
homemade gun. Did you see what that gun looked like?
yeah, that's
Next
crazy.
time you
Like
could just Google. I was like, "This is his gun." And when you see the gun, you're gonna be
mm-hmm.
like, "Wow, this is awful. This is awful."
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, if they happen to if it's a magical place where all the guns are off the streets,
Then that's
it's
different.
just gonna be a whole bunch of different way people are gonna kill each other. Homemade guns, a
Homemade
whole
thumb
bunch of
gun,
shankings,
a whole
and
bunch of shankings.
yeah, it's probably gonna be like a law on knives and stuff. Like it's like no, it's just
I don't know what it's like on a Navy base,
mm-hmm.
but me being on a military base, sometimes a weapon comes up missing. They
Mm-hmm.
shut down the
Yeah,
whole post.
yep,
They shut down the whole post until that weapon is found.
same. And then every bullet has to be
Be
accounted
accounted
for
for.
as well. If one bullet is missing, if one bullet is missing,
And then a lot of times it's because it wasn't even a training event. A lot of times it's just cleaning where, I don't know what you guys did in the Navy, but we would have time where our entire unit would be in the armor's room, and we would
mm-hmm.
be cleaning weapons. And like I say, and either something got miscounted
Mm-hmm.
or misplaced. Somebody took a gun up into the barracks,
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, we're missing a weapon, and they shut it down.
Yep.
It's like,
If a
wow.
weapon is missing or a bullet is missing, it's gonna be a bad day for everybody
Oh, that's
until
a
it comes back.
bad day until it
But
comes up, from top to bottom.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those were the days. That's just something that fascinates me. I'm like, okay, everybody know you have a weapon. Get it turned in before you move to go anywhere.
Yep.
But then they always are missing a cachet of weapons. Somebody and the thing always happened to me. I guess because where I was located, it was always at Fort Bragg where they were missing. And
Mm.
Fort Bragg is home to everything. They're home to the airborne units. They're home to the Rangers battalions.
Mm-hmm.
They're just everything is at Fort Bragg. I thought that was fascinating. And we were talking about this one day. It was like it just kills me. Generals jumping in to the drop zone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow. The first time I saw that, the first time I even heard about it, it was like, I said, wow, their generals actually jump in also? And he's like, yes, sir, they do. That is just amazing,
Yeah, I never knew that.
right?
Interesting. Interesting. So how do we fix? People always say, fix it. What could we fix about this violent, gun-toting, criminals and thugs on the streets?
There's not a fix for it.
Thank you.
There is not a fix. Things look good if you're making an effort, but you have to have meat behind it
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like our congressmen, our senators. Nobody gets along. Everybody's getting fooled, and then when you look deep into it, it's all about money.
Yep.
These companies are filling their pockets.
They're making
Well,
bank.
they're making a lot of money, and then a lot of those companies they give to both parties.
Mm-hmm.
They give to both parties. It's just like regular companies. They give a certain amount of money to the Democrats. They give a certain money to the Republicans. And if there's an independent, they want to keep their palms greased no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
and it's smart in a way, but the people that it hurts the most are
Everyday people.
everyday people.
And you know what's crazy? When I was doing my research, it actually was saying that like violent crimes have went down with the increase of the sale of guns, but everything is in the media now,
Right.
so everything is in the forefront versus way back when nobody's recording
Right.
everything. There's not cameras, they're not reporting on anything because you solely you turned on your TV to get the news
Yeah.
or whatever. You're not on your
Or
phone,
the newspaper.
scrolling, or
Right.
the newspaper. And if they're like, yeah, we shouldn't, this shouldn't, people should know about this, like, it's not gonna, it's just gonna be like a police report, or
Right.
it's gonna stay within the station. So people, I always see like comments like, nowadays, blah, 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 stuff is this, but it's always been this way. But if you like actually take the time to research, you'll see
Right.
with the increase of, gun sales, like violent crime rates have decreased compared to what it was in the 70s, 80s, or
Right.
whatever. It's just now it's just more like in your face. So every day and then it's the news is for propaganda. So they want you to get riled up and, be like, oh yeah, this people are so violent. We need to
Right.
take away their guns. But no, they were taking up stagecoaches back in the
It's stagecoaches.
back in
Yeah.
the 1800s. Like it was,
Right.
longest as people is gonna be violence.
Yeah, as
Like,
long as there's always, you can't have good without evil.
yep.
It's just like if you believe in God, God is good, the devil is bad. You can't have one
Mm-hmm.
without the other. It's always a versus, you know, and that's just the way it is, and that's just the way it's gonna go. So I'm just like, maybe one day things will work out that it evens out. It's just
Yeah.
got to even out, and the only way it can even out is for more good guys to help. And it's like I try to encourage everybody. I try to encourage all my friends that look like me. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
because I said all my other friends they have it. I belong to a citizens academy. That's a law enforcement citizens academy.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a couple of people that look like me in the group, but everybody else in there, another 50, 50, 55 people, they all have the license to carry. And just
Yep.
like, and I try to encourage my friends, like, hey, oh, I don't want to carry. I was like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
I say, you're going to need that because when people realize that you don't, then, as you always say, Tara, you become a soft target.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and you want to avoid, just like, even like I said, even if you do have a weapon, that don't stop you from getting attacked but it
Yeah.
gives you opportunity to
To
fight.
yeah, to defend yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
especially like if you're a woman, or even if you're a man that's not, you don't want to necessarily fist fight. And then you got to think of the mindset of the person that's doing whatever it is to
Mm-hmm.
you, robbing you, or try to assault you or whatever. Like,
Right.
they're doing this bad thing to you. They obviously they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to at least meet them with some type of
Right.
something that's gonna hit
Something,
hard.
something
Because
to fight back.
yeah,
You have
because
to
they
fight
they
back.
literally have nothing to lose at this point, where they're willing to risk
Mm-hmm.
their life and their freedom to rob you or
Yeah.
assault you or do whatever. So I mean, I personally, like, if you don't have nothing to lose, like, I can't really mess with you
Right.
like that. So you might as well, like, if you have something to lose or whatever, I feel like you should just stay prepared, because you can't predict what other people will do for the $10. You probably, they don't even know. Like, that's
Right.
the thing, they don't even know. People will rob you not even knowing how much money you have. People will rob banks, steal ATMs, and it'll be
Right.
empty.
And it'd be empty.
And like, they are willing, if somebody is willing to do that, that should tell you their mindset. And that right there should make you scared enough to go get a gun. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you're right, somebody got killed over less than $20. Like,
Right.
just think about that. Spending, there's multiple people actually in prison behind something less than
Right.
$20. So
Yeah, and it's just like I said, you have everything to fight for. You got
mm-hmm.
everything to live for because you were minding your own business. You weren't
Yep.
going out committing a crime. You tried to be as legal as possible.
Mm-hmm.
and just like somebody else, they don't feel like that. They
Yeah.
they don't, it's just like, so we have to protect ourselves. That's why I said no matter what party you belong to, I don't like to make it political, but whatever party you do belong to or whatever you believe in, you must protect yourself. If you legally can, I that's the advice that I give you. If you legally can,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Like I said, you don't have to. No one, you should be able to walk around. And nobody should ever know if you have a weapon or not,
Yeah.
unless you tell them. So,
Right, exactly. And
mm,
don't just be having it out with you
right.
like, hey, look at what I got. Because people still
And
rob you for your guns.
and when
So
I see people like that, I was like, God, that person wants to be
you're a target.
Joe
Yeah.
Tough guy so bad. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You make it bad on everybody else.
Yeah, those be the people that still, that they'll shoot wrong. Because
Right.
they're trying to, show off and be tough. And, like, you don't even know how to use this thing. Like,
Right.
stop.
It is, and you just have to imagine, just think about the first time when you got to shoot an M16. I don't know, what all did y'all shoot in the Navy?
12 gauge, 9, and I don't even remember what else.
And see, with me, we only shot M16 with my
Okay.
MOS, with my particular job, because,
Mm,
where I'm located, they would really have to be on their, you know, balls to really just to
mm,
come into where I was located.
yeah.
But it's like I said, we were just M16. And I said it took a minute for me to get used to that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't shoot, I shot my best on the day it was qualification day.
Yep.
That's
We
when
have a 5 inch gun,
yeah,
and
little pistol.
no, like it's like the bullet is like 5 inches.
But,
It's like if you're
uh,
shooting at something else, so it's
okay.
like you gotta hold it with both hands. And five
Okay.
inches, so it's probably like this big. So that's
Oh
how
wow.
big the bullets are. So
Wow.
yeah,
See,
it just depends on what you're doing and what
right.
your job is. So.
But like I said, I shot my best. I didn't shoot my best until qualification. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I think I shot a gun one time. It was a shotgun before I ever went to the military. And that, oh, actually, it was second time because I shot a rifle, and these were when I was in college because
Mm-hmm.
my roommates from East Texas. And so when we would go to his hometown,
Mm-hmm.
they live in the country, so they could shoot guns all the time.
Yeah.
So that was like, those were the only times I shot weapons before I
Yeah.
got into the military.
Yeah. And speaking of, it's good to expose your children to weapons
Yes.
so they could know how to operate and know when a weapon is not
Yes.
safe, because a lot of kids get into your weapons, you don't teach them anything about it,
Right.
and end
And
up
they think it's a toy.
yeah, and they end up killing somebody. Because it was a story, maybe it happened maybe in June, where a kid accidentally killed another kid with a gun
Mm-hmm.
because they're playing with it.
In the
So
car. In the car. The one in the
yeah,
car, was that the one?
I
Is that
think so.
yeah, because that
But
was
yeah, like expose your kids to weapon, teach them about it.
right.
Like this is, a clear and safe weapon. This is how you load a magazine, and make sure you lock your weapons up. Like it's okay to expose your children to guns in like
It
a
is.
safe manner,
I
and
agree with you on every bit of that.
because ignorance will get you killed,
Yes, it will.
and kids are ignorant.
Right.
Like I hate to say it, but it's true. They literally don't know anything, and if you don't teach them, they're just gonna explore and see what they see on TV.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're one
And
of your siblings is dead, or just because you didn't take the chance out to educate them on
yeah.
weapon safety. And then if you don't feel comfortable doing it, most ranges have like safety classes for kids
Yes.
specifically. So.
And I always think that's important for single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always think that's important for single mothers. It's just like, different women that you date, they're all afraid of guns.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes I say, don't even tell her. Don't even tell her. It's like
Mm-hmm.
one, she was visiting all the time, and I told her whenever she went home, I said, yeah, I said, she's like, I said, yeah, because the way you acted on this telephone, that's the reason why I know how you would have acted in person. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is Texas, and it's important, and you never know,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
You never know what people are going through, and people will do anything for money,
Right.
like literally anything. So
Right. Well, I think this has been an interesting topic. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Those that are tuning in, always remember to like, share, And you can follow us on all the platforms. I'm on YouTube specifically, and T's Tidbits.
Apple
She,
Podcast, Spotify, Zeus Network, BET Plus, Fox Soul. What is that? All Black? I
all
don't even
black,
know.
all black. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you back on the flip side. Take care.